All right, y'all gonna get me because I'm doing a video while driving, but I couldn't hold it back. Here's what I've learned from my studies about Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate. First of all, I didn't hear anything positive about Andrew Tate, but I am trying my best not to judge because it's something I'm really good at. I bet his childhood was an absolute nightmare. Only way he could be the way he is if his childhood was an absolute dumpster fire, right? So we're gonna pause on that. But what I did find with Kevin Samuels is that he appealed to men who have been severely hurt and legitimately feel wronged in relationships. Either they are rejected or they feel like they have been good to women or don't understand what in the world they did wrong to deserve what they're getting in relationships. Is that right? And what Kevin Samuels did was he was there for you. He gave you a voice. He amplified your anger. He manipulated you, but he was not a bad person altogether. So he cared about you just enough for you to feel like finally someone is speaking to my pain. And when he displaced that pain towards, degrading women, degrading men, putting them all down, it was entertaining. But I did not hear one person say that Kevin Samuels healed them. They did say that Kevin Samuels entertained them and spoke to their pain. Let me know if that's right or wrong. I'm trying to learn.
It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining.
I don't really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. You see the thumbnail, more importantly, you saw the clip. It's the same old BS. I'm not good at judging, but his childhood have to be an absolute dumpster fire. That's judging. It's pretty much judging. Oh, let's do it. You know, I studied, and I see everybody that supported him must have just hated women and hated this and hated that and had all these bad scenarios of women. But even if that was true, let's just overlook that and just say, hey, let's just passive aggressively hate on what was really going on, because it's shame, insults, guilt. No, this was no guilt. This was no guilt, because no, your mama was black, but the need to be a hater. And this is why I say it's a problem. That man been dead for years. So how much did you really study? Because this is what people normally did. They got offended because somebody told them to be offended. They showed them what they were offended at. And then you get on the internet acting passive aggressive or offended for them or Captain Save or whatever. And then if you actually took the time to actually look at everything, then the people that looked go, oh, wait. I jumped on the hate a little too soon because I see he did this and I see he did that, but I didn't know about this and I didn't know about that. And then this is what I mean about, and then just like ladies do, let's move the goalposts. He never healed anybody. I'm sorry, was this man supposed to be a shaman or something? What was it? I'm sure it wasn't Dr. Kevin Samuels. And by the way, if you watched him enough, you would have known that he told plenty of people they needed therapy. So, but I'm guessing you didn't see that because what happens is people who do that type of stuff go, I didn't see that. I didn't really know that he did that very often. I didn't know that was a part of the show. I just heard from a friend who was upset and still years later upset at a man that's been dead for years. And now I'm in my car driving, talking about him and Andrew Tate, and for what? Really for what? Shout out to Obsidian. Because I saw his comments in the clip, in the comments, and he was like, yo, man, you clout chasing off of my friend now. And that's what keeps going on. Let's get this right. If Kevin Samuels was so bad, how come there are so many people trying to emulate him in his death? Oh, you think it was just for the money? Men and women emulating him after his death. But whatever. Oh, no, let's take this a step further. How come you making up stories about the man when he's passed? You do realize he still have family that's still living, right? But that don't bother you. Because let's take this a step further also. He a black man, you know. So, Andrew Tate actually black, but black-ish for some people. But the one thing that I know about black men and being a black man, and he would know as a black man talking about another black man, you can make up anything. You can make up anything. You could lie, you could twist, contort, change the narrative, make it something completely different, because you don't have to actually be 100% true when you're talking about black men. You don't actually have to, you know, use the truth as your narrative. You could just make something up along the way. And it has to be true because it's a black man. So you could make up the lie, it could fit your narrative, and then we can move on like, it's okay. And you don't have to actually, you know, seek for the whole thing and find the truth and then go, I was wrong about that. It's like for the people who did the exact same thing when Kevin was alive that this guy did. And then was like, after he passed, even when he was alive, it was like, I had to look deeper into this, man. I was wrong. Kudos to them. Not because I think Kevin was right and you think Kevin was wrong. It was because you just went in super simp, just 10 toes down on some BS. And then and then the rest of it hit you right in the face. And you're like, why did I just why did my, as BGS would call it, my winter soldier chip, why did my brainwash chip decided to go all in against this dude? Because he's a black dude. He was a black man. It's simple. And then and that guy, whatever, he's a normal thing. I was watching the Peef Network. A young lady keeps bringing up Kevin, and she's unnecessarily disrespectful just to people on the show on a regular basis. It's just so it's like the type of people that bring him up usually are people who just are passive aggressively angry at the world for some odd reason. It is what it is. But just in my observation, the other thing, I forgot about this. There are a lot of content creators that knew Kevin. And just for the record, some of the vast majority of the people that knew him and was cool, they left it alone. Nothing, no real beef there. Because when he was alive, he didn't really do beef at all. He just kept it moving. But for the people who are really wanting to beef with him, even after his passing, that's because they want whatever slot that was. And guess what? He's been dead for years and ain't nobody got that slot. That was his. Okay, let it go. Now, the other thing about people like that, just you can't help the situation because you can't have an honest conversation. See, to have an honest conversation about things going on between two people, you have to have an honest conversation with both people. And let's just be honest, you can have an honest and dishonest conversation about black men. But can you have an honest? You can't have an honest conversation or a dishonest conversation about black women. And we ain't trying to even be the dishonest. We ain't trying to disparage sisters like that. We're really not. Y'all doing a heck of a job on your own in social media, even when you think you're doing the right thing. There's enough evidence for the world to see, and it keeps coming out. It just keeps flowing. Men aren't even in the room. And guys like this will constantly have a blind eye to that. They'll ignore that every day of the week because when it comes down to the reality of what's actually going on in the world, or what actually has transpired to this point, you can't call a spade a spade. Let's just say guys had mommy issues. That would be a lot of mommy issues, don't you think? But if kids grew up to be men and they had and mommy issues, you know who you point to? The men, not the mom. If men have bad experiences with, teenage girls when they're teenagers or preteens, those preteen girls and teenage girls and young ladies, young women and grown women, just in the whole, meet and greet dating experience. You gonna say anything? No, you're not. So at the end of the day, you're talking about one population that needs to be healed. And at the same time, people can't overlook what's being constantly overlooked. There's a population that's constantly hurting people. That's what's going on. And it's not that people can't live their life, after whatever happens to them. It's just you're not going to be around somebody who treats you like an enemy on a regular basis. You're just not going to do it. So what you see now is just a separation between people who don't get along. And even when Kevin was alive, you know, he got some things from BGS, he got some things from Obsidian, he got some things from Jap, O'Shea, Angry Man. He Kevin was a pinpoint hodgepodge of the Black manosphere in the way that he put it. And the issue has always been the same. There are too many of you brothers who don't want to say a simple thing. Yes, there are a lot of ladies out here that are bad people and have bad intentions when they deal with men. You even have women, and Kendra G, by the way, was doing the dating type thing before Kevin. But after he passed, she kind of took some of his talking points because it made sense. She's having a hard time with it. And since I'm gonna go there, prior to Kevin's show that had the women, because he did the men, he had a show with the men first. There were numerous dating coaches online, on YouTube also, who said, I'm done. Can't do this no more. Can't do this no more. I've been catering to the sisters, Black women, numerous ones. And then some of them turned around and said, you know what? They came back to it and said, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna lie to them because they don't want to do nothing. But all of that stuff gets overlooked because when you shame, insult, guilt, and the need to hate on Black men, that's we're all just one big evil mister. You get what I'm saying? As Kevin would talk about the color purpling of America, right? But everything that these sisters do is in a bubble, and everything that you see from sisters that do dirt is in a bubble. So it's this all-encompassing negative Black man, and then this bubble here, a bubble there, a bubble here, a bubble there. But at some point you realize, damn, ain't nothing but bubbles around. Yeah, you scared to bust those bubbles. Pandora's box has been open for a long time. It's just y'all want to be blind. So when you bring up people purposely to be uninformed about them, when you're saying you're informing yourself about them, and they've passed away, just say it's for clout, man. But let's just be honest. You're not gonna have the type of conversations he was having because you can only see bad intent in Black men, even when it ain't there. But y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.